Every year, NATO grows stronger, more members, more bases, bigger defense budgets. At the same time, much of Africa burns. From the Sahel to the Horn of Africa, conflicts don't seem to end, they're just contained. This raises a dangerous question that rarely gets asked. Why does NATO expand to protect Europe, while Africa is left to manage a state of permanent crisis? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization was created back in 1949. Its original mission was simple: defend Europe from the Soviet Union and prevent war on NATO soil. The Cold War ended in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, but NATO didn't dissolve, it expanded. In 1999, it welcomed Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. In 2004, the Baltic states joined. Between 2017 and 2023, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Finland came into the fold. Each expansion meant new military infrastructure, higher defense spending, and a stronger collective shield for its members. Now, let's compare that with Africa. Africa faces some of the world's most devastating conflicts. The Boko Haram insurgency has raged since 2009. The Sahel has been engulfed in jihadist violence since 2012. Somalia has been at war since 1991. Sudan has been trapped in a cycle of repeated civil wars for decades. Yet there is no African equivalent of NATO, no powerful military alliance backed by global powers. Instead, Africa receives on peacekeepers, counterterrorism assistance, and temporary training missions. These are not defense guarantees. They are not permanent security frameworks. Africa is stabilized, not secured. If you want to understand the real priorities, just follow the money. After the war in Ukraine, NATO countries recommitted to spending at least 2% of their GDP on defense. Military budgets rose by hundreds of billions of dollars. Meanwhile, the response to Africa's conflicts consists of humanitarian aid, emergency funding, and peacekeeping budgets that often shrink year after year. Here's the uncomfortable truth: Western defense spending is preventive. African security spending is reactive. One is designed to prevent collapse, the other is designed to manage it. So, why are African wars managed instead of solved? First, there's strategic distance. A war in Mali doesn't directly threaten a NATO capital like Paris or Berlin. Second, there's resource geography. Some argue that instability keeps the extraction of minerals, oil, and other strategic metals cheap. Lasting peace would mean stronger African states with better bargaining power. And third, Africa often becomes a testing ground for new military technologies and tactics, from drone warfare to counterinsurgency strategies. No city in a NATO country would ever accept this level of experimentation. Take France, a key NATO member, and its decade-long military presence in the Sahel. The operations promised stability and security. But what happened instead? Terrorist attacks actually increased, civilian resentment grew, and a wave of coups swept through Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. France was eventually pushed out, not because Africans rejected security, but because they rejected endless war with no prospect of peace. NATO's expansion sends a clear message: Europe deserves permanent security. Africa deserves temporary containment. If instability spreads, it's framed as a local conflict, or ethnic violence, or simply terrorism. It's rarely framed as what it is: a global security failure. So, if NATO can guarantee peace across borders in Europe, why is Africa only offered peacekeeping instead of protection? Is it because Africa is inherently unstable? Or is it because managed instability serves certain global interests better than genuine African stability ever would? NATO expands to stop wars from reaching Europe. Africa burns because the wars are allowed to stay there. Thanks for watching.